On this week's episode of Monday Night Hudl, we've got absolutely tons to talk about. We're going to be going through the under-19s results. That's Div 1 and Div 2. We're going to be talking about the CEFL with the Manchester Titans and the Bristol Aztecs results. As well as that, we're going to be talking about the Prem's Nines results with Teesside and London Warriors before we go back into Week 5 in Britball, where we've got tons to talk. We'll be starting off with Division 2. We had some shocks, we had some not so shocks. Then we go on to Div 1, talking about massive games this week. Some teams making an absolute comeback statement, and some teams just solidifying why they've got all the reason and capability of going all the way to number 1. And then we'll be talking about the Prem. Some brilliant results in the Prem, Prem North and Prem South. And then after that, we'll be discussing the power rankings. You can criticise us as much as you want, leading on to Week 6 fixtures. Please do make sure you give us a follow on our socials. This product is all about you, and we can't wait to go through this episode. And as I always say, let's have some fun. There we go. Tried something a little bit different. I liked it. I don't know what you guys thought. Welcome to Monday Night Hudl, episode 14. Folks, it is great to have you back. We are joined by Lee, by Liv, and by our friend from the East Kent Mavericks, Quan. How you doing,
How you
buddy?
guys doing, man? Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Oh, mate, absolute pleasure. So, look, we're going to get into it very shortly, but we check up on everyone. Mental health is all good, all that jazz. So we want to know how everyone's doing. Lee, anything going on with you? I'm pretty sure you've got a show very soon.
A show we have, yeah. I've got a show this coming Friday, mate. It's my debut lead acting role in the Haunted Cabin over here in near Cambridge. So you can always come and see the show if you want. The tickets are available. Just follow me on Instagram or Facebook, and you can see where I'm performing. But yeah, it's been a busy week. Busy week. So yesterday I was down in the nation's capital watching the Wembley Stallions take on the Cambridgeshire Cats. So after a thrilling game, which ended up in obviously we'll talk about later in favour of the Cats. But yeah, it's been a really good week. Liv, how about yourself? What have you been up to?
Not much, like working like normal. Double training weekend. Well, double weekend of football. We had training with Royals on Saturday, and then I was at the Stallions Cats match. First match this season where I've been able to kind of kit up and be on the field. So that was kind of good. Good to be kind of back out with everyone after, not being able to be out in the past season. So past match even against Blitz. So yeah, quite fun.
Quan, Liv will not take offence to this. If you need me to speak in English, what she's saying, she might be hard to understand. You let me know. She is Scottish. She's used to this before. And that's coming from a Scouser. What do you want?
Yeah.
I'm just saying our Americans on Cats understand me. So
maybe
it's not bad, honestly. I've been here 11 years now, so I think I've kind of got a built-in translator at this point.
Quan, they're scared of Liv, so they just say yes. What have you been up to, mate? What's been going on with you?
So we had a game. Obviously, I play for East Kent. You can see the Mavericks merch on my chest right now.
I've got my onesie on. I'm not even lying, by the way.
So we would have had a game yesterday. So just recovering and rehab from that. Back to work. I think I coach for the development at GB. So we have a camp coming up this Saturday at Brunel. So just been preparing for that with the rest of the coaching staff. We're really looking forward to that and getting out there with the rest of the GB guys. So just focused on that right now at the moment. Yeah.
Wow. we did have a good chinwag. He sent for a really good clip, and we uploaded it last week, and he might be on it this week, but we'll talk about that later because we've got the clip to show later. But I can't see many people being able to actually stop the Mavs this season. They look really good offense and defense. What's the aim for the Mavs this season?
Well, I can be humble or I can be, truthful, which is
Yeah, let's go for
that
truthful.
after last year's finish, we would have lost to the Wembley Stallions, who were promoted to the Premiership. We were aiming for a win, and we're aiming for a ring and a Britball, which last season, even if we had one, we wouldn't have been able to get to the championship because they weren't doing that format. So this season, we kind of feel like this year is our year to kind of do the thing. And so our aiming point is as high as it can be, which is to win Britball, Division 1.
Love that.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw a question at you.
Mhm.
If you guys were in the Prem now, do you reckon you'd be able to hold your own?
I think we'd be able to hang with the bottom half of the Prem.
That's more than holding your own. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. Well, I mean, I've had a busy one. I've been watching so much football; it's been ridiculous. All the European ball games I've been watching, and wow, we make this show for you guys. This is your show. We say this quite a lot, and I'm always in Lee's ear after, not physically because we've never physically met. We've all done by this, by the way. Shakes his head like that, but we're always coming up with ideas to try and make this better. And when I watched that stream, I think I must have sent him about 5 different. Oh, why don't we try this? Why don't we try that?
Yeah.
It was absolutely brilliant. Like, even like the thing with the drones. I don't know if any of you watched any of the games over the weekend, like Frankfurt and stuff like that. The drones going up and down, getting the coverage. It was just absolutely brilliant. And I'm not going to go into the Titans in that game. We'll do that later. But even all, because there's obviously a few European leagues, both of them streams were absolutely brilliant. I had my game Sunday, which we won, and I had 3 field goal kick attempts. Drum roll. Scored 3. So, Kushti, from O lineman to the chunky kicker. That's what I've been called once or twice. Quan, who is your team? Who do you support? NFL.
Yeah, so I'm from Washington, D.C., so I am a Commanders fan. We've got to be PC now, so I'll just leave it at that. Yeah, I've always been a Commanders fan though, so I'm a hometown hero supporter. So I support the Wizards. We got a #1 draft pick coming up this year, so I'm happy with the state of Washington sports at the moment.
Who's your college team?
I don't have one.
You don't have one? Oh,
I do not. Yeah.
It's interesting you say that because obviously I lived in Colorado for a while, and I picked CSU as my college team, and obviously I'm a Bronco, and I follow quite a few of the leagues. They've got a bit of a semi-pro league. London has a team, and it is interesting because there's not many like amateur / semi-pro things on a smaller scale. It's either interesting one. Right. Shall we get to it, folks? Oh, we've got a few comments. I do apologise. Meanwhile, Baffa bans drones at all games. To be fair, we had an interview with them. They do, but they said if a safe option gets passed to them, then boom, that's something that we can sort. We need to be allowed to use drones even for game analysis. The coach from Steelers said this. He showed it, and I agreed with it completely. But hopefully, this game continues to grow. Let's make it grow together. Let's get into week 5 results. So, Quan, you've watched the show enough. If you have any questions, not a problem. If you haven't got a clue, don't worry. Say pass or I don't know.
No worries.
We're going to go through the under-19s first. Apologies, we put Div 1 on a graphic when it's Div 2. Blame the graphic designer, which is me. It's fine. So, London Warriors 14, Wembley Stallions. Did I go off there? Am I back on?
You're back on. You're back on.
Yeah.
Live TV. London Warriors 14, Wembley Stallions 8. Very close game. I'm not going to talk over about forfeited games. And then the next one is Wembley Stallions 0. South East Kent Legion 38. That tells me South East Kent Legion are miles above.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a result. Let's move on to the next one. We've got Pool Dolphins 8, Bristol Aztecs 31. Then Bristol Aztecs 0, South Wales Warriors 15. Pool Dolphins 12, South Wales Warriors 38. South Wales Warriors will be happy with that. I'm not surprised whatsoever. Let's go on to the next one. So after that, we had some games yesterday as well. Highland Wildcats 20, Manchester Titans 14. Oh, you disconnected as well. Don't worry, mate. It's not just me. Lancashire Buccaneers 0, East Kilbride Pirates 44. I've seen this game. Their defense looked absolutely brilliant. They intercepted a lot of passes. Very well travelled as well, considering it was an under-19s game. And they were all brilliant to deal with, brilliant to speak to. East Kilbride Pirates, great bunch of guys. Chester Romans 8, Nottingham Caesars 16. Rushmore Knights 0, Solent Thrashers 42. Ipswich Cardinals 8, Hertfordshire Cheetahs 48. Cheetahs winning on multiple levels. So I want to get into the European Bowl. So the first one we're going to talk about here is the Titans. Now they lost to the Panthers, 55 points. I think it was the Panthers. I believe it was Panthers. 55 points to 8. Did anyone watch this game?
I've got to admit, I didn't.
I watched a little bit of it. I did. Yeah.
I think I'd watched about 5 hours worth of ball at this point. So
Yeah.
I didn't catch the full game, but see, it's an interesting one because we talk about this at home. Some teams will play much better at home than they do away because people can't be bothered travelling. I had one coach say to me, if in England, if it's more than an hour's travel, you're losing 33% of the squad. Would that score been a lot different if the Titans were at home? Anyone disagree? I mean, I think it would have been, but it just shows you, that semi-pro aspect of it. I mean, fair play to the Titans. They got on with it. They did as good as they could, but it was a bit of a mad one.
Yeah, I mean, I think there is an argument to be said. Especially in these sort of matches. Should it be like like the soccer over here in the UK? A match played away and a match played at home, and then sort of the overall scoreline should take effect. I think it's difficult to say. Can just for there to be a knockout competition like this. It's luck of the draw, isn't it? Who's the away team? Obviously, they've had to travel quite a distance away there, and although the team looked like the majority of them were there, you don't know if they were missing any key players out in that starting lineup.
Just that quickly, we love interacting with other media outlets as long as you're friendly. We've got a comment here. Commanders fan, check out the Bunker podcast on YouTube. UK-based Commanders show. Maybe you guys can get in our Kwan. I'm sure he'd be up for that because he's UK-based now.
Absolutely.
We've got a comment here. Sorry, Lee. Couldn't stop the QB runs.
Yeah. I witnessed that firsthand. They were getting a bit destroyed by that, and the QB was scrambling out the pocket and running as well as making throws on the run. So I don't really foresee the score being that much different. They did look a bit outmatched, if I'm honest. Yeah.
See, it's mad because I mean, we had a meme the other day we were talking about. I play Div 2. I'm not claiming to be Prem. I'm not claiming to be good enough to be Prem. But there's differences between Div 2 and Div 1. A lot of difference. But then there's a massive difference in Div 1 to Div Prem, the bottom half of the Div Prem. And then there's another level from the bottom half to the top half. It is a bit mad. So then when you think of all them levels, then you go to Europe and that crazy. Let's move on to the next one. Now, I felt so bad for Bristol on this one. The kit being left there, all the equipment. It was crazy. Luckily, they managed to source some kit. I think they bought some cleats and that and lent some other bits of kit. But I'm telling you now, if I'm doing what's potentially the biggest game of my life playing and I'm wearing someone else's lids and someone else's kit, I'm not going to be nowhere near as up for it. And I tell you what, 35-21, not a bad result when you look at the other one. This is a fixture where if I think it was at home, maybe you'd have seen a swing in the result. Quan, I'm going to go to you on this one, mate. What are you thinking?
Yeah, absolutely. You think about all the skill position players. I've never obviously played O line. I've played some D line before in my life, but
Always welcome, mate.
as a skilled position player, I know the difference personally from myself if I'm
Yeah.
wearing cleats that don't feel good or if wearing cleats that haven't been broken in. And I can only imagine what cleats these guys are having to wear if they've bought it at some, Polish version of Sports Direct, for lack of better words, And so to imagine that, to imagine, this random gum shield they're having to wear, and all these different things that you don't really think about too much, but they're, I guess, the intangibles to the game that could impact this score line. And I know a couple of the guys from Bristol, and they're ballers, and they will get on with it, as they did. And but yeah, definitely can see how that would have impacted the scoreline for sure. But they still put up a pretty good fight, it seems like. I didn't watch too much of this stream though, so I
Okay.
wouldn't have known.
Did any of you other guys catch it?
Yeah, I caught this one. So yeah, I mean, it was a great game. I think the Warsaw Eagles, they looked really good. Um, Again, talking about how well players travelled. Their offensive line didn't look as dominant as I've seen them in the past. So I think there's questions whether they had their starting O line out there. I'm again speculation. I'm not 100% sure. But their QB was, the Aztecs QB was flushed out of the pocket quite a lot of times, and there was a fair few sacks. Is a credit to the Aztecs. But yeah, if this was roles reverse, if this was,
I reckon you do.
yeah, I think you're possibly right. I think again, it's so hard, isn't it, to travel across Europe in your own time, and obviously being in that really difficult situation where they didn't have their own kit. It confused me watching the stream. Like, where these aren't the Aztecs? Who are these guys? And yeah, it's always bad there. Warsaw scouted Bristol, knew where the open coverages were. Yeah, I completely agree. Their DBs were on point. They knew exactly what was going on, and it was a great game. It was a great game.
Black Panther Sports just said hi on Instagram. Hello, Black Panther Sports. Liv, I'm going to ask you yes or no. If Aztecs were at home, would Aztecs won?
I don't know if they would have won, but I think it would have been a much kind of closer game. Definitely not as I know it's still a close game, but again, it depends on where this is like a massive what if. Obviously, we don't know how well the Eagles would have traveled, so it's very much they could have had the same thing. I mean, if they were to travel on the same weekend, they might have had the same issue as what Aztecs did, and their kit gets kept in. I think it was Heathrow that we're flying from.
Yeah.
But it is shocking to me that a lot of the players didn't take their helmets on the carry-on. When I played away with GB last year in Spain, the massive thing that we were told is helmet and carry-on. Your helmet has to go in the carry-on because we can't have you bags getting left in the UK and your helmet is in the UK. Your helmet, anything that you need, if you've got a special pair of gloves that you want to wear in the game, in the bag. Everything that's very important in that sense in the bag. So I was shocked to see that so many helmets weren't, they're Aztecs helmets.
I agree where you're coming from, but at the same time, if you're paying for a service, you expect that service.
Oh, absolutely. You don't think, whenever you go on a holiday, you don't think your luggage is going to get lost until you're at the carousel going, "Where's my luggage?" And I think that's exactly what happened here. It was an unfortunate event, but I mean, Liv's absolutely right. Helmets aren't cheap. We all know.
Oh, we are having a lot of
Oh my
issues.
days! What is going on?
We're having a few issues. We do apologise, folks. And there's over 70 of you watching, which is the highest we've ever had at one point. So thank you. Lee,
Someone said that the live feed's gone down on Facebook. Apparently.
Oh, there's nothing I can do there. Then we'll have to. I'll post a YouTube link now. Lee, do you want to finish your statement there, mate? Sorry.
Yeah, I was just saying that obviously the helmets. We all know how expensive those helmets are. It's definitely something you want to keep an eye on. Whether you put it in your hold luggage or your carry on is definitely questionable there, isn't it? Yeah. Liv, did you manage to catch the game?
I didn't, unfortunately.
No.
I don't know why I didn't. I think we had training at Royal, so I think I probably had a nap after training. I can't lie.
Liv, can you just give us the info on this one, mate?
Yeah, so we had the Women's Nines Leagues, the Prem League. We had Teesside Steelers play home to the London Warrior Women's. Very, very shocking scoreline. 63 to the London Warrior Women's, 0 to Teesside Steelers. I had a conversation with one of the players from Warriors Women's yesterday after the Cats match, and she was just saying it was just a really, really good day for them, despite Warriors Women's having quite a lot of travel difficulties. Obviously, they're traveling up from London. I think she said that they left about 20 to 6 in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning for 2 p.m. Nope, 12 p.m. I think a 12 p.m. kickoff, 2 p.m. kickoff. Something along the lines of that, but they left at crack of dawn. Travelled up, they had a couple of issues with driver taking wrong turns. They turned up late, had to push back the match for like half an hour, and then they still went out and like balled, which is it's a very shocking scoreline. And Teesside are a very strong team. I've played them, so I'm surprised that they didn't put any points up on the Warriors. So
Interesting one. It's that is it is a big score, but fair play to the Warriors. I think we move on. Again, folks, we apologise about the streams. It's been posted on the Facebook page. It is still live on YouTube and Instagram. Have you got any comments on Instagram? Yeah, same comments as that. Oh, Black Panther Sport has actually seen if we want to buy any kit off him. He's a manufacturer. We're not buying kits. We get this message 4 times a day. Please stop. Right, before we go into week 5, I want to ask you all a question after you watch this video. Is this one of the best pitches in Britball? Staffordshire Surge, bravo. Wow. Let's get
Yeah.
that. And just these aren't a Prem team. This is a Div 1 team.
Yeah.
What people's thoughts on that, Quan? I'm going to you, mate. What are your thoughts on that?
So I saw this, and honestly, I've been having a lot of talk about pitches and stuff in between like the fields at our team. As we have aspirations for Prem, that's one of the things that we're obviously been talking about, and like looking at other people's pitches and what they do well and what we don't like, etc. It's a great field, if I'm honest. The only downside I would say is I don't see any stands. And as a club who is looking to grow and looking for more fan support, more community buy-in and engagement, if you don't have any place for anybody to sit, it's gonna be a bit difficult for you to build that fan engagement. However, the markings are amazing, the uprights are amazing. It looks like a full-size field to me. I can see the numbers, and that's something at our pitch that we are not able to do because they are marked in blue. But yeah, it's an amazing pitch. Yeah.
For me, so I played against Surge quite a lot a few years ago, and this is not me trying to offend them. They used to be like a pub team culture, all this, all that. That club is not that now. That club is brilliant. That club is absolutely fantastic. They're in a awfully hard division, the Midlands 1 division, which I call the Cursed League. But Surge, well done, folks. Should we get onto the results?
Let's do it.
Yes.
Let's do it. So we put a poll out to you guys last week saying, what do you want us to change about the show? And someone said, do Div 2 first. And then we asked, and you all agreed. So let's get into it. And not because it's my team. But first result, Bish Bash Bosh, Lancashire Buccaneers 54, Darlington Steam 0. Wow. I had a brilliant day. I've had the worst week in such a long time. And I'll be honest, I'm an open book. My mental health absolutely plummeted, and I need a good game of football. And this is. I scored 3 out of 3 field goals, as mentioned, made up, but forget about that. Our team, offense, defense, absolutely brilliant. over 50 players on the sideline and potentially a lot more who want to join. Now, Darlington's team, I have to give them their due. Has anyone seen Darlington's team social media in the last 24 hours?
I did. I
You know,
did.
any chance?
No, I did not.
Oh, mate, they've
Yeah.
been. I think it's about 3.5 hour, 4 hour coach trip,
Yeah.
and they were doing karaoke on the coach. They were doing Jaeger bombs. They were doing all this, all that. There was big speakers, big boom boxes. They're all at the back.
Awesome.
I hope that coach driver got a tip of his life. But I will say this: if there is anyone in the Darlington area wanting to give that club a go and join them because their culture is absolutely spot on. It was a brilliant result. I had a few people message me going, "Why didn't you your own team number one?" And there's just one sole reason: is the fact we've had 3 games, we've conceded a few silly points. The team at one hasn't. It's going to be an interesting one this weekend. Is Steam that bad or are Bucks that good? Look, I think obviously the Bucks went all the way last year and got beat in the final in the Gulag game after it got rearranged and loads of our players couldn't be there. And them key players are here. I think we're a very, very good team. But I was speaking to Lee about this before. Part of the reason I think if the Bucks did win this weekend convincingly and like another statement win of them going to the top is you look at the teams in the top 10, Humber in the power rankings, Humber Warhawks are there, and so are Lincolnshire Bombers. Whereas in Cardinals League, I don't think any of the other teams are there. So, maybe, I don't know. But it was a brilliant game. Defense ball out, offense ball out. Thomas Cairns, our favourite Scouser, nearly got an interception. Oh my God, the whole line dropped to the floor. We thought he just missed it. But it was an absolute brilliant day with the boys and girls. Brilliant culture, brilliant club. I've spoken about enough about my own team. Lee, do you have any thoughts on?
Well, I think this is just showing the dominance of your team. The Bucks are obviously out to prove a point this year. To put a 50 burger on a team and to walk away with a goose egg. I mean, that's something to be impressed. It's very impressive to have those 2 sort of score lines to walk away with. Obviously, Darlington, traveling down, that's brilliant. All the best for the rest of their season. But I think, we're just looking now at the front runners. I think they're emerging from sort of all levels of Britball with the Bucks, the Cardinals, and there is obviously the Plymouth Vanguard as well down in their division. There is the dominant teams are emerging, so it'll be interesting to see. How the next game with the Bucks, because you've obviously had 4 games on the bounce, haven't you?
Yeah, it's not ideal, but you've literally got one hand in the playoffs if we win next week for me.
Yeah.
And there's Quan, I'm sure you'll know this. There's 2 weeks left in the transfer window, so it's one of them. Thoughts on Donny starting to charge for home games seems a bold move for Div 2 team. No, I'm up for it. I think if you're providing a great service and you want to go, I'm up for it. I don't think people realise how expensive this sport is to run. Not even like on a personal standpoint in terms of equipment. Like pitchers, their fees have gone skyrocketing up. I'm not going to name the team, but I've been made aware of a team in the Prem. I'm not saying Prem North. I'm not saying Prem South. They currently don't have a home field to play the games at. I'm not saying we're not announcing it or anything like that, who it is, because they don't need any more pressure. But a lot of teams are struggling to get access to pitches. Liv, if you want to leave and then jump back in, mate, try and fix your camera. Don't worry, mate, I can see. Kwam, do you know much about the Div 2 setup? Like,
I know a few of the teams that have gone up and come down a little bit. But I wanted to first flip your question that you gave to me onto you and ask you, what are you guys' aspirations for the Bucks this season?
I'm going to level with you straight away, mate. But winning everything.
Yeah,
winning everything. We've recruited very, very well, and I'm talking, some ex-Prem players as well. And I know other clubs have recruited very well. We just got a guy, Carl Rugen, brilliant, mate. He hit 3 people in a row on the same play and knocked all 3 of them on. It was a kick. I think it was a kickoff or a punt. And I've never laughed so hard on the floor. I was rolling in laughter.
Yeah.
we're aiming to go all the way. It's interesting because if we finish top, we'll play whoever's second of Midlands.
Mhm.
Win that, we're promoted, but then we're
Yeah.
in the final and we're playing for a ring. But we're not looking any game ahead. We're not skipping any opponents. We're just next game, which is Gateshead, and we're aiming to make a statement. Yeah, X9 Hawks, that's correct. Liv, I'll try and get you back on now, but that's our aim.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's how it should be for everyone. Like, I think Coventry have just got promoted to the. I'm talking soccer here. Coventry have just got to the Premier League. Their aim should be to finish top. If their aim should be to finish top of that league, are they going to do it? No, but you know, we're all competitive. There's a reason we put our body through this. He is a great lad. You know, we love this sport. It's the hardest sport to walk away from. How many times I'm retired, I'm done, and I wrote myself back in, you know, and stuff like that. I love this sport. You know, I'm at a club where the culture is brilliant. We've got some fantastic coaches who all work together, who check each other. Our players. Do you think? Yeah, I do. I do think. I think we're better than a lot of teams in Div 1 around our area. But it's the same with everyone. Like, how old are you? If you don't mind me asking, Quan?
I'm 32.
32, right?
Yeah.
And as long as your body can take it, I'm sure you're just going to keep on playing.
Yeah, but just like you, I have retired several times.
I've lost like 4.5 stone in the last year. So I couldn't play O-line anymore. I'm not big enough to play O-line.
Yeah.
I'm not young enough either. So I was sat in Tunisia in the hotel having my 12th whiskey and coke. And, you know, my wife's like, well, I was like, I just want to play football. I'm gutted. She's like, you not play a position where you don't get touched? I was like, yeah, field goal. So, yeah, just do that. I'm ringing up my coach. I'm back together. Liv, any thoughts on this result?
Nothing that's not already kind of been said.
Yeah.
You know, it's a very strong result for Div 2. Yeah.
Coach Grosvenor, up the books. Most handsome active D tackle in Britball. I haven't played defensive tackle for a long time, but I'll take that. I confirm that retirement is bloody great. Oh, I'd love that guy to be back in Britball. There's so many good characters in Britball that aren't involved in a team you want, and he's one of them. Great guy. Right. Next result. Doncaster. Sorry, everyone apart from John picked the Bucks to win. Next up, Doncaster Mustangs 7, Wakefield District Raiders 20. Now I backed the Mustangs because I know both of these teams are recruited well, and it's how quick the players have settled. And there's some really, really good players in Mustangs, you know, ex-Div 1 players and stuff like ex-Prem players as well. This is a bit of an interesting league. Great result. We had one of the clips up before. They seem like a really unified team. And not that they've announced this, I can announce that they've also... let me rephrase that. I know they've signed some more ex-Alphas players. So that's going to be a very, very interesting team because Rossendale are unbeaten. Wakefield, yes, they've had a loss, but they got revenge on that loss. Liv, what are your thoughts on Wakefield here?
They're definitely starting to become a force to be reckoned with in their bracket. It will be interesting to see, you know, if the Alphas players that they have picked up, it'll be interesting to kind of like just see if they're now on that level with the Bucks, as in Rosendale. But yeah, definitely be interesting to kind of watch them throughout the forever how many matches they've got left. I've lost count how many matches everyone has. I get confused with Div 2 and how many they all play.
Oh, sorry. Coach Grosvenor was talking about Mr. Remington, so I'm just going to go on Facebook and delete him, so that's fine. Quan, do you know anything about any of these teams? Don't worry if you don't, mate. We are coming up to your division.
Of these two teams that you just mentioned, no. Yeah. But some of the other ones further down, I do. Yeah.
Okay. Lee, any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I mean, I think we discussed this last week. You know, obviously Wakefield and Doncaster, you know, they're not a million miles away from where the Alphas are situated. So both teams, you know, have obviously had their fair share of recruitment from the Alphas' demise, and obviously this was a closely fought game. Obviously Wakefield have got something special going on there, so it'll be interesting to see how they progress.
They've got momentum. And that can be very dangerous. because that's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. They've got a lot of momentum. Let's move on. Myself. Oh God, this is hard to do now. Pick six. I'm behind the sticks. We got it wrong. Let's move on before I sneeze. Lee, can you do the next score?
Yeah, so the next score is the Ouse Valley Eagles 10 and the Berkshire Renegades 0. So this is sort of the revenge match for the Ouse Valley Eagles.
Sorry, mate. This comment's great.
Johnny must be charging to get their VO fixed. Looks like an 8-bit film.
Come on, mate.
Yeah. Ouse Valley Eagles. Obviously, they played Berkshire Renegade last week, and the Berkshire Renegades beat them 10-0 at Ouse Valley, and we've just had the complete opposite. The Ouse Valley has travelled all the way down to Berkshire and beat them by 10 points. So this is a punch for punch sort of blow for the away teams. Our little insider Jess Guthrie, who plays for Ouse Valley Eagles, he told us last week that it could have gone either way, and it looks like this week it has gone the other way with the exact same points. So Ouse Valley are they're still in contention. Obviously they've still got to play the Cardinals. But yeah, I think they're a competitive team. It'll be interesting to see how they fare up against the Cards in this division.
Me personally, I think Cardinals slap everyone in that division.
Oh,
I could be wrong, but they just look very, very good, very physical. Quan, anything on this one? Do you know anyone on these two?
Is it Berkshire
Eagles.
Renegades or
Berkshire Renegades?
Yeah, Berkshire Renegades. So they surprised me as a team that's been relegated because they were previously Div 1, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. So I don't think they've won a game since they've been brought down. So I'm curious as to what exactly is happening in that club and why they're struggling.
So they did win. They did win last week at Ouse Valley. So they played the other fixture.
Oh, the return fixture. Okay, so this is the return fixture. Interesting. Yeah, so they seem to be struggling to adapt, which is just curious, and that's the same thing I was going to say with the next team over there on Norwich, which I'm quite familiar with. So
we will get
I'll wait. Yeah.
That one moment, Liv. What do you think on this one, mate?
Nothing that Lee's kind of not already said. I mean, we both know Jess. We both kind of had the conversation with her about this return fixture. And yeah, it's not surprising. I do think Ouse are going to be a good contender this year. I do think that it will be a very interesting matchup with Ouse and Ipswich as well. I do think that Ipswich will win, but I don't think by much. So I do think it's going to be a very good pound for pound match. But yeah, that Renegade score, it's not like it's thrown me for a punch. It's very much, especially with the result last week, it's very much like it could have gone either way. I'm not surprised it went to Ouse though.
Okay.
So just on another one on this one, we've had somebody reach out from Ipswich Cardinals asking us when we're going to stream their games.
Hey,
I've had a look at the scheduler, and Ouse Valley Eagles versus the Cardinals looks like a good fixture for me to come down and stream. So I'm going to reach out to the Ouse Valley team and hopefully we can get a stream going.
Just on streams, if any teams out there want to stream on our platform, our YouTube, our TikTok, and our Facebook all at the same time, I've got it all set up. All you need is literally a camera or something to record and a laptop to update the scores. I believe East Kent Mavericks might be doing it. We're working with them at the moment, so that will be great. Vanguard are gagging for a streamed game too. Could have read that a lot worse. Thank you. I mean, look, let's talk Ipswich Cardinals.
Yeah, let's do it.
32-0. They've yet to concede a point. My only concern is, and I am not trying to have a dig at any team. I love football. I want everyone to succeed. Is that league? Are they just levels above everyone in that league, or are the other teams maybe not so good? Quan, I'm going to come to you with that difficult question.
Yeah, so without knowing too much about Division 2, I'm familiar with both those teams. So Ipswich, they've got a good program down there, and I don't think they have too much competition in forms of catchment area from what I'm aware of. I know Norwich was in Div 1 previously. We used to play them in the Mavericks. I think when they got relegated, it was because of a walkover fixture against us, where they didn't travel down to play us. I know the program quite well because their team, Cambridge Cats, sometimes, not too many of them, but some of them, and an old team that's no longer here, Bury Saints, all used to recruit heavily from the military bases where I was stationed at up there. And so I know Norwich has struggled for a while since, getting Americans, losing Americans, getting Americans, losing Americans whenever they would deploy. And I just don't know if they have the structure, I guess, in their program to kind of survive with the local talent. And it's kind of demonstrated in their score lines here. So I mean, obviously, I haven't watched this game specifically, but you can tell that they're not really performing well. And it's going to show with their score lines throughout the season, I think. So it's a bit worrisome for the teams that are like that. But I'm just reading this comment. Yeah, so I can't really comment too much about that, but Ipswich does look solid. They have looked solid since last season, and I think they're going to continue to put on a show this year. I can expect to challenge the Bucks, maybe Mateo. We'll see what happens.
We wouldn't play each other.
Oh, you wouldn't?
No.
So maybe in the North-South final if you all make it that far.
Okay. Fair enough.
They're not doing a North-South final, are they?
Yeah, they're doing it. They've brought it back this year.
Oh, fair. Oh, hopefully we do.
Yeah.
That'll be great. We'll all get bladdered after it, do karaoke and Jaeger bombs and my version of the Haymack Arena. Liv, what did you think on this one?
Again, I'm not surprised. Cats, we had our scrim. I think we've said it so many times. Cats have had the preseason scrim with Ipswich, and those boys, they have a lot of heart. I got a few people that were associated with the team last year that I know, and I've still got a kind of friend that still plays for them. So it's like, I'm not surprised. Norwich, it's surprising because they do have a good uni base. They do have UEA, but I know a lot of the UEA guys have come to play at the Prem level rather than playing at the Div 2 level. I know Norwich were semi decent last year. I know they had a couple wins under the belts. They seemed like a really decent side last year. In comparison to this year, I don't know what has happened. I don't know why they're not scoring as many points as what they have done. I don't know if they've even scored points this season. I know they have lost, I think, all their games that they have played. So it's surprising that a program that was successful previously is not kind of living up to that height that they were last year. But yeah, again, I'm not surprised that Ipswich have steamrolled. They're looking like they're going to be a force to be reckoned with, especially in that battle for the Div 1 promotion.
Okay. Lee, any comments?
Yeah, so the only comment I'm going to add to this, obviously we've said a lot about these teams. The Cardinals, they've got a very good youth program set up down there. And last year the Cardinals were competitive in the under-19s. From what I can gather, though, a lot of their talented players have graduated from them and now moved into the adult league themselves. So they've obviously got that throughput from the under-19s, and those good players are now playing for the adults. So yeah, again, I know a fair few players down at the Cardinals, and they are a great bunch of guys. So it's unsurprising that they're doing really well this year. So yeah, just hope to, like I say, if we can get that live stream going for between the Hughes Valley Eagles and the Cardinals, then that would be great.
Well, let's go on to this next game because I've got a bit of a report from it. Coleman Monarchs 0, Plymouth Vanguard 23. Really good start by Plymouth. This Vanguard travelled once again to face Coleman Monarchs. The offense once again continued their series of strong starts with a Russian touchdown from QB 11 Matt Sayer. The second quarter saw momentum stall at both defenses, made each yard hard earned. Half time, it was only 7-0. The third quarter saw Sayer once again hit a massive 60-yard run, taking the score to 14-0. A safety early in the fourth quarter, and the final nail came with Joby Wolfenden Brown secured a pick six to put the game to bed. Full-time 23-0. Sayer with 2 rushing touchdowns, Brown with 1 pick six, and safety Dave Morrison 3 times XP. And big rainstorms. So it was a rainy game, apparently. I'm not surprised by this result, but fair play to Cornwall. They're still cracking on. They're still going. Stick with it. Any comments from anyone on this one?
Yeah, so I'd got a bit of information on this one as well. So I got told that the Vanguard's starting running back was out injured for this match, so he didn't manage to get in kit. And their second running back also had a bit of a nasty neck head injury after a face mask on one of the plays. So they're without their two sort of starting running backs. So the fact that they kept the momentum going.
Got a bit of misinformation. Do apologise. Aaron
Elvis.
I said Elvis then scored.
Elvis, I thought that as well. Yeah, so so the fact that they put 23 points on the board is great to see. But yeah, I think the Vanguard are running away with this division, aren't they? Oxford scrimmaged Vanguard in the preseason. Good outfit. Best of luck to them. There you go. That's coming from a really good Oxford team as well. So yeah. As I said, the Vanguard are running away with this one. Kwam, what do you think of this game?
I just find it awesome to see a team come from associate status season and then come up to Div 2 and have some success. It's really, I think that are they undefeated right now, Plymouth?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah.
That's amazing to see. They put together a program that's, clearly well thought out and planned, and the coaching staff is doing some really good things down there. So it's nice to see.
Yeah, just a correction on my behalf there. QB, the running back one was on parental duty, not injured. So there we go. So that's good to know. He's back. He's back again in the near future, I'm sure. Liv?
Yeah. It appears from the comments that Cornwall, a bit like Bucks and that, they've had 3 games on the bounce, so they have had a lot of injuries by the looks of it, which isn't surprising. It's the only thing about Britball is sometimes you will have all those matches on the bounce, and if they are very high intensity matches, those injuries are going to suck, and if you've not kind of got the depth behind it, that can kind of kill you. It is Cornwall that had the dad come in and play QBs, wasn't it, or last week? Yeah. So again, this is another reverse fixture, but it's not a reverse fixture because it's still getting held at Cornwall. It was played last week.
Yeah, I think Plymouth had issues getting the ground sorted. So
yeah.
This is this thing. We spoke about this before. Clubs' costs are going up and up and up. So if clubs want to start charging,
yeah.
I
mean, I know they have quite a good setup down there in terms of the game day experience. You see it on their Instagram. I know from a few people have been down that way for some of the matches and that. It looks like they do have a good setup, so it is kind of good to see how well they are doing. I do hope that we do see them maybe come up into Div 1, but yeah, very strong game from them.
Okay, let's get into Div 1, the most difficult league out the lot of them, especially when we're doing these bloody power rankings. Sorry, power rankings. Not getting anyone else blamed for that. Right, so Chester Romans 0, Yorkshire Rams 35. I've seen a clip on Chester Roman social of the guys running out, and every time I see a clip like that, I always count. Wasn't great. Now, whether they're all, because I didn't see any big guys, maybe they're O-line and D-line were already on the pitch. We know O-linemen and D-linemen don't like running. It's not good, because if you finish bottom this season, that's it. You're relegated. There's no gulag game. Do Chester Romans need to go down to just steady the ship, get better, and come back up? Because part of me says no. I have a lot of love for this team. I used to play for this team, but they're in a very tough division. Newcastle Vikings, Yorkshire Rams, Sheffield Giants, who don't look too bad either, and then they've got 2 games in Scotland. Sorry, 2 games against Scottish teams. Lee, I'm going to go to you for your thoughts on this one, mate. Now, before you speak, mate, I genuinely think Yorkshire Rams have still got a good chance of winning the lot. That's how good the Rams and the Vikings are. That game is a brilliant game. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, this is it. I think that is a really tough division to be in. The Rams and the Vikings are two big teams in that division, and I think anybody else trying to compete with them is going to fall short. And I think that's exactly what's happened here. Is, the Romans have gone up against a Goliath team like the Rams. And unfortunately just fell short. Obviously, the score did shock me a little bit. I thought the Romans may have, put even just 3 points on the board. But it really does show the dominance of how the Rams have recruited this year and putting a statement out there that they really do mean business this year. Liv, what do you think on this game?
Again, I'm not surprised based on who I know is like on the team who's previously played at Cats.
You got more friends.
No, yeah. Well, it's
we
people
know guys on here.
Yeah, it's people that they're former Cats players. So I've kind of gotten to know them through some of my friends on Cats. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, I seen a clip from one said friend of him absolutely just crashing into someone and sending someone flying on. I think it might have been a special teams, it might have been on return, and he just hit the guy and the guy down, and then hit another guy and the guy down. So they've got some big heavy hitters. So I'm not surprised. I do feel for Chester, obviously, like they have. It's not great to be bet at home. It's never a good feeling, but
they are actually a well-run club. There's people that volunteer there that are absolutely brilliant. Ickle and Ant, I absolutely love them two guys. They're really good. It's hard because they've lost so many players to like Manchester Titans and Merseyside Nighthawks, and other clubs as well. We've got quite a few from them at the books. So it is an interesting one. When the Cheetahs 2017 went 0-10 relegated to Div 2, 2018 won the Div 2 final and got promoted. Best thing happened to them was to press that reset, but maybe that's what Chester need. Quan, I'm coming to you, brother.
Yeah, I think that they have a really tough time in that division that they're in at the moment. I think that there's a few divisions that are like that, and they have a team that can potentially compete maybe at other parts of the division. However, just where they happen to find themselves, they're number 3 or number 4 in that division, and I think that they fall into the category of one of those teams, unfortunately. And as the comment would have said, it might just need to hit that reset button.
Okay, we all spoke on this one. Lee, you spoke?
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. Great game, this one. Clyde Valley Blackhawks 13, Sheffield Giants 8. The reverse fixture, Giants battered them. And this is where we go on about travel. 13-8. Fair play, because I know the Giants were winning 6-0 at one point. Great win for Clyde Valley. I love seeing the Scottish teams do well as well. Quan, I'm coming straight back to you on this one, mate.
Yeah, I don't know much about the Northern teams, if I'm honest.
Beautiful league, mate. Brilliant. Yeah. Well, we'll skip you then, mate. Lee.
I mean, to be fair, Kwame, I know nothing about the Northern teams either.
Yeah.
I think geographically, I don't think this is a no-brainer. When you've got teams from Sheffield, we're talking South Yorkshire here, having to travel all the way up, over the border and carrying out a 5-hour journey up to Scotland to play a fixture. You're going to have players going, I've actually got something on that day. I can't quite make it. And then you start losing numbers, start losing players, and the score then reflects in this game. We've said this many times. We need more Scottish teams. We need more people to volunteer and to set up those teams so we can have a really good Scottish league.
I had a message off one of the Clyde Valley players, and he was brilliant. Like, we literally respond to every message as long as you're not rude. And he was like, I'm gutted there's no Edinburgh team. There should be an Edinburgh team. So, like, it's like they're all up for it. Do you know what I mean? And
yeah,
they're not afraid to travel. Though. You look at East Kilbride. The under-19s team. I think there was more of them than there was. The Bucks. They were literally all up for it. So it is a mad one. Liv, have you got any comments on this?
I think I should just keep supporting the Scottish teams. don't know why I didn't do it this time. Normally I'm all for, supporting them all, and this time I just didn't. But I mean, I think after Sheffield score the other week there, I think that's maybe what's prompted me to kind of make this decision. But yeah, based on that score the other week there, I'm surprised that it went that way instead of it being a Sheffield win. But I mean, yeah, the travel element. It's like Sheffield to Glasgow is not as bad as like Sheffield to Aberdeen.
Yeah.
That if they will they end up playing the Aberdeen team, Sheffield?
No, I think
No.
they play one team home and away. I think that's what
I
it is.
think the Vikings are the only team playing Aberdeen. So,
Ooh. Well, I mean, even still, it's not as far as Sheffield. But yeah, travel in Britball you're always going to have problems with it, especially when you've kind of got that big gap between the kind of Scottish teams. I mean, we used to have one in Edinburgh, we used to have one in Dunfermline, we used to have multiple,
Dundee?
but
I think you had 2 in Dundee at one point.
maybe I'm not entirely sure. I only recently learnt about the Dunfermline team. I'm from Fife, so that was a bit of a.
You're lying.
Huh?
I didn't know you were from Fife.
Yeah, I'm from Fife. I always say Edinburgh though because that's just easier.
How old do you live?
24.
Oh no, my mate Jade Richards. She's from Fife. She was on just going off topic there. She was on X Factor. the singer, great singer. Well, we'll chat about after this later. I've got loads of funny stories.
Okay.
Right, let's move on to the next results. Norfolk Knights 29, Leicester Panthers 34. This was an absolute brilliant game. And am I surprised? No, not at all. I was getting score updates. I think Knights went 13-0 ahead, then it was 20-13, it was 20-20. This was brilliant from all the way to the start to the end. Now, Panthers lost their first game, and it was it was a tough loss. I've actually got a clip I'm going to show you from last week because their QB, he just doesn't give up. Watch this pass from last week. It's not the best coverage, but footage, but let's just have a little quick meet at this one. So, just going to obviously talk you through it. Like, look at this.
oh,
What a catch!
I mean, that's just a hope and a prayer, isn't it? He's thinking, I think I've got a player over there. I'm going to throw it to him and see if he's there.
It is, mate. But let me go back to Div 1. It is, but they lost the first game, and I know there was some referee calls. They've not been particularly happy. I mean, look, we're always never going to be happy. I mean, I was very happy with our refs on Sunday. They were brilliant. Thank you very much. We hope you got it used for the next game. But in terms of, the embodiment of losing your first game, it's never usually great. They've turned it around. I cannot wait for them and the Black Country Steelers to play each other. I think that is going to be a beautiful game, and I hope that one is live streamed. If you need any help with that one, folks, do let us know. Lee, I'm going to come to you on this one, and I'll let you carry this on. I'm just going to go grab another bottle of water.
Yeah, so I mean, you said you weren't shocked. I'm a little bit shocked that it is so close.
You're messing.
No, I'm really. I thought the Panthers were gonna put this one away.
So did I. Yeah.
And but the fact that the Knights fought back and put 29 points on the board is real credit to them. Obviously, the Panthers, and the Black Country Steelers. I really look forward to seeing that game. And if we can't get it live streamed, then I think we need to, as a platform, step in and try and get somebody up there to stream it for them.
We've got a few comments on Instagram. Sorry, all hail Quan, Sequan the goat. Keep up the great content. We love that. King Quan. Travel aside, can we not shout out the grit and determination of the CV squad? Listen, we love Scottish football. Anyone from Scotland wants to jump on the show next week, apart from Liv. Liv, you're always welcome on the show. You drop us a DM. We want some Scottish people in the TD UK team. If there's any teams that are starting associates, I know there's one in Derby. But if there's any teams in Scotland start doing associate, let us know. We want to help you. We'll help promote you. If you want us to help you do some artwork, we'll do that. Whatever. Just let us know. We want to help you. Sorry, there's one more comment, 2 seconds. And we played the Panthers in pre-season. They're a solid team. That does not surprise me. They kicked our butts a few times last season.
Yeah.
As you were, mate, sorry.
Yeah, so I mean, again, we're just talking about the dominance of the Panthers. They are. I think between them and the Steelers, I think that they're the sort of the Midlands front runners in this division. Kwame, you got anything on this one?
Yeah, just that I've heard really good things about the Panthers as a program, and as you said, kind of expected them to kind of be a bit more in a firm driver's seat for this game. But so I'm surprised to see 29 points conceded. But it happens sometimes. Those tough games just hit you. So it could be that, or it could be just big respect to the Knights.
It's
I wasn't there. Yeah,
it is the cursed division. Now,
yeah.
I do know I've had a message from someone who was at the game, not from either team, saying that he believes that the Panthers got one of the running backs back, and he got 250 plus yards on the ground.
Wow.
That's insane.
Wow.
Knights nearly won with 2 minutes to go, but it was called back for a holding call. Oh my god, if you did that, I'd never forgive you. Liv, what are your thoughts on this one, mate? Who have you, what one of your mates was at this game or plays for this team? Or
So one of my coaches, one of my Royals coaches for Northants. One of my friends plays for Northants, and one of my other friends plays for Leicester Panthers. All from Royals, all from Peterborough. So they were all playing against each other. I knew about the holding call because the message came through in the chat. I was about to kind of say that, but you just stole my thunder a bit.
I'm not even sorry. Yes, oh mate, carry on.
It was there was a touchdown call with literally, as you said, like in the last 2 minutes, and there was a hold called on it, and our coach went to us. He was like, I got flashbacks from our tournament, like, because we had the same issue at our Royals tournament literally the week before, and he was getting flashbacks from that. It definitely does seem like the Knights have kind of switched it on, and like they're starting to fight a lot more from like how they previously were. Like, I know when we played them in pre-season, they didn't do too well. I think we ended up putting quite a lot of points up on them. But it seems like they're slowly fighting back, and they are slowly becoming quite a force to be reckoned with. It is potential that they are maybe going to be the underdogs this season. I mean, if they are putting up 29 points against Leicester Panthers, I mean, and almost winning the match, that definitely does say something about their kind of program and how they've maybe kind of been training over the last couple of weeks. So yeah, it's definitely kind of good to see. So yeah.
It's an interesting league because you've also got Staffordshire Surge, Black Country Steelers, and Shropshire Revolution. It is a very, very difficult league. Okay, we've all spoke.
Yeah.
Let's move to the next one. Staffordshire Surge 7, Black Country Steelers 42. I had a mate who messaged me about this. He said, 3 things are certain in life, Matteo. I said, what are they, mate? He says, pay your taxes, death, and Steelers beat the Surge. I also seen another brilliant tweet by another person because this team's played each other every season for like the last 3 or 4 seasons. And I think they had one league where they had to play them 3 times. And someone put his prediction with that Surge were going to get relegated, and then Baffa were going to merge Div 2 and Div 1, and the first game next season would be Surge versus Steelers. Lee, what are your thoughts on this one, brother?
I mean, Steelers, obviously, we said this before, Steelers are taking care of business in this division. 42 points, that's a reputable scoreline there. The Surge, obviously, they've got a fantastic pitch. 7 points on the board. You should be proud of that. You're going up against a really good defense in the Steelers there. So yeah, don't be disappointed. Keep moving forward. But well done to the Steelers. Kwam, you got anything on this one?
Yeah, as I said, I don't know too much about them, but the Black Country Steelers has been a team on our radar, as well as mine personally. And ever since you guys, I think, had one of their players on here, I've been keeping a bit of a close eye on them because I feel like we could potentially see them down the line at some point. Yeah, I mean, they took care of business, and it's a scoreline that I would expect. So for that part, I mean, I'm surprised to see them letting up points, but the next fixture, I can say the same. So.
You know what? For me, I know the QB walked into the end zone with a touchdown. I think they had a 60 or 70 yard passing touchdown or something. Sorry, I'm just reading this off note. I haven't got my glasses on. But for me, the Steelers are a very, very well run outfit, and they're all on the same song sheet. kind of like the next team we were going to talk about. But before we talk about them, we're going to post a clip from the Essex Tridents and East Kent Mavericks, and you might see someone you've seen before. One moment. Wow. Let me get back to us 2 seconds. I posted the right clip there, didn't I?
Yes.
Oh my God, you wouldn't believe the fear that runs through me. Mate, this is the second week in a row you've sent me a really, really good clip. FYI, people have sent me clips every week for the last 6-7 weeks, and some of them haven't been great. Explain this clip for me. This was a really, 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 really good play.
So I have to give a bit of a backstory. So obviously we're number one in that division, and Essex Tridents is I think last place right now. And so there was a lot of different feelings going into that game, and I want to say firstly that Tridents put up a great battle. Big respect to their team. They were not afraid of the fact that we were the number one team or whatever, and they gave us quite a bit of fight. So I think at that point in time in the game, the score was 17-6. And it was already the third or fourth quarter. And we were driving down. Our starting cornerback was back in the game after injuring his hand. And yeah, it was a red zone fade. And yeah, just, 80-20 ball, as our coach likes to call it. And just went up and made the play. And that is why I'm still recovering today, is that spin on the ground there that I had to do afterwards after the catch.
Shock. I am over. Very good against that, because I'm sure we've got a salute. We've got the eye emojis. Yeah, you've got a lot of love here, mate. I don't get none of this love. Quan the goat, look. Are you paying these?
No. So I would have posted the link to the stream to get a lot of support from our team. So shout out to the East Kent Mavericks and our coaching staff down there. They're all tuned in right now watching.
This is another good win. But am I right in saying this was the first point you conceded?
Yeah, so that was the first points conceded. That it was on a deep ball to one of their receivers. I believe it was number 25 on the Tridents, who's a bit of a speedster on their team. And yeah, they took it home. That was the first points conceded, and I believe after that, they did not get a first down. So I mean, our defense has been pretty tight this entire year. I mean, 4 games in, your first points, and then we blocked the extra point afterwards. I'm not mad at it. Our offense was pretty undisciplined this game, and we gave up probably over 100 of yards and penalty yards. So you never really perform that well when you're not clicking on that cylinder. A lot of different issues with regards to people coming in, people going out. But I'd rather this type of game happen now, and I'm sure that most of our teammates and coaches can agree that it would happen now prior to happening in the playoffs. So.
Okay. Lee, any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, so I'm just talking about the other team, so the Tridents. I actually know the head coach of the Tridents quite well, and he's kind of openly addressed the situation that they've had a lot of players leave. They're still sort of patching things together from the merger that happened a few years back between the Sabres and the Spartans.
Oh, no. God.
Yeah. So he's openly admitted that they're on a rebuild year this year. So I mean, the likelihood is they're gonna fall from Div 1 to Div 2. But as we've heard before, this is their opportunity to hit that reset button, get things back up and running, and then fight to get back into Div 1 again next year, hopefully. But yeah, I think they're not defeated yet. No team should ever be defeated. But I think, looking forward, I think they want to see next year and see how they're going to compete next year rather than looking at this year.
Well, Jack Milan was the wide receiver who scored, and I think his nickname is the Flash. That's how quick he is.
He's got some wheels on him. Yeah.
I might start calling myself the Flash. See if my fellow wide receivers will agree on that. No, don't think anyone would either. Liv, any thoughts on this one?
Nothing that's probably already been said. Kent has some really good talent in both the Mavs and the Exiles. So I'm not kind of surprised that the result went the way it did. Essex have unfortunately got to deal with the the area that they're in. There's obviously quite a lot of teams in that area, with obviously London being not too far as well, Cambridge not being too far. So it is a hard area to kind of operate as a team in. Hopefully, if they do get dropped, that would kind of reset, make some, kind of jump back up. It'll be kind of good to see if that happens. But yeah, it's not a surprising result at all.
Okay, let's move on. No one backed the Tridents. We all backed the Mavericks. Next result, and this one shocked me a bit because I didn't think it would be this much of a point difference. Portsmouth Dreadnoughts 8, Hertfordshire Cheetahs 40. Have we been sleeping on the Cheetahs because they lost that very, very, very first close game? Kwan, I'm coming to you, brother. What do you think on this one?
Yeah, I'm just happy to see them scoring again. We have quite a few ex Cheetahs guys on our squad now. We have the Downs twins, Jordan Legg, Jaden Abraham. So they're big Cheetahs guys through and through. But yeah, I'm happy to see them scoring again. And I didn't think Portsmouth would get beat by this much.
I thought it
But
would be a
yeah.
lot closer.
Yeah, I thought it would be a little bit more closer, like a 40-21 or something like that. But yeah, it's a interesting scoreline. I'm looking forward to now seeing the return fixture against Blitz B, I think it was, where it was 6-0. Now that their offense has got, that rhythm going again. So it'll be interesting to see.
Okay. Any of you two next? Any other comments?
Yeah, I'm just going to jump in there. I think you're absolutely right, Kwame. I think it's one of those things. Sometimes when you have a new offensive coordinator or somebody new at play calling, it takes a while for the team to gel and to understand the playbook. And I think we're now seeing that turning point for the Cheetahs where they're starting to understand it. They're starting to click. They've still got fantastic players on that team. And they are going to be a force to be reckoned with. Obviously, the Dreadnoughts on the opposite side. Again, I think we've been speaking about them before. About you got the Solent Thrashers. A stone's throw down the road. And you got Farnham, the Rushmore Knights a bit further up the A1M. Sorry, the A1M, the A3. So I think it is.
We've had a brilliant question. I'm going to display it.
Go for it.
So I'll just jump in and answer it really quickly. The one that we're keeping an eye on the most is most definitely the Thrashers. We probably see ourselves having to play them for that game to get to the Britball. And obviously, you guys at Solent have an OC, and I believe it's Dave Gibbs. Is that correct?
Yes,
Or is he the head coach?
No, I think he might be the head. No, I think he might be the OC. I'm not too sure. The reason I know that, I've got his message up here, literally that he's.
Yeah, so definitely keeping an eye on them. Not looking past any of the other teams either. Olympians is a team that we have historically had some crazy battles with. Most recently last year in the finals, only beating them, in overtime and a nail biter. And this year, yeah, we started off with a big victory against them. But we are looking at that return fixture not as a walkover win at all, because we know that every single time you face a rivalry team, you never know what's going to happen. So for sure, we're paying a lot of attention to the Olympians. You said SSW. I don't know if that's meant to be Southwest Wales.
That's correct.
Yeah. So I don't know them too well, but I know they are in the north. Or is that north? No.
They're in
It's Wales, right? Yeah.
Yeah, South Wales Warriors. It's the South Wales Warriors.
Yeah. So not too familiar with that team.
Okay. Anyone else got any comments? Nope. Let's move on. Otherwise, we're going to be here till tomorrow. Right. And to be fair, we would. We love this. This one is very good. Sussex Thunder 0, London Blitz B 61. And I'm going to tell you why it's all good, because we do a guess to score. And none of you got it right, so that money is safe in my pocket for another week. But we've upped it by a 5 for next week. 61-0. I've got nothing else to say then. I am not surprised. It looks not very good for Sussex. Anyone else got anything to say in this? I mean, well done to London Blitz B, but I think we were all expecting this.
Yeah, I think this is a no-brainer. I think with the scores, I guessed 52-0 to the Blitz, and I thought I was ambitious, but the fact that they put 61 points on the board,
Mental.
gee.
Mental. I hope they all had some donuts after it as well.
Oh.
I did last night. Right, let's move on to the next one. Bournemouth Bobcats 7, Bristol Apache 28. This is a very difficult division. 7 points to 28. Quan, I'm going to come to you on this one.
Yeah, surprising that Bristol hasn't had as much success as I thought they would have. I think that for the past 2 seasons, their performance in their specific divisions has been a bit lackluster. From what I would assume based on their programs that they would have aspirations, higher, even though this is essentially their B team, right? For
Yeah,
the Bristol, yeah. So, I'm always surprised to not see them doing as well. I don't know if that's attuned to like a situation where they're not necessarily communicating well between the two programs or what, they could do to patch that gap. But I mean, it's a solid win against the Bobcats, but I don't think that it's as big of a victory as they would have liked to see, if I'm honest. Yeah.
Okay. Lee?
Yeah, I was just going to sort of mirror what Carm was saying there. I think I think this is obviously this is the feeder team into the Aztecs. So they are. That's a fact. They're in Division One. Shows how much talent is down that side of the country.
Could they get
But
like? Let's say they were better. Could they get promoted, Lee?
I mean, there's no reason why they can't. But I think the problem you're always going to have with these A and B teams is your cream of your crop's going to go to your A team. You're not going to sort of allow players to sort of stick around in your B team when you've got an A team that are sort of a dominant team like the Aztecs are. I love Russ's comments there. Transfer window closes on the 2nd of June. If you want to transfer yourself across to another team that's doing slightly better.
Nearly. We don't.
Yeah.
Cheeky.
That comment though is correct, and that's what I've heard as well about the Blitz B team is that they can't get promoted to wherever their A team is.
I think they can. But it's
the comment just says a win is a win and we can't get promoted.
Oh, they must play for them.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. I always thought they could because
I was told Blitz B can't get promoted. Like even if they were to win Div 1, they can't get promoted to Prem.
Wow. That is crazy. I wish someone had asked that at a Baffer interview. That is mental. Liv, have you got anything on this one?
I'm of the same opinion as Quan. Like you would expect a B team, like especially one that's fallen under the Aztecs, to do a lot better than they have been doing. I mean, flipping it to Blitz B, they're a B program and they're doing exceptionally well. Like I don't think they've had a loss at all this season. But then flip it to Apache, who's a B team of the national champs. They haven't been doing, like, yes, they have a win, but they haven't been doing as well as what they previously have done. Is it the fact that maybe Aztecs, the program as a whole, like both Apache and Aztecs, are they maybe just putting more time and effort into the A team and then kind of neglecting the B team a bit, or is it just?
I also think, just on what you're saying, I also think we're all underestimating Bournemouth. Yes, they've lost games, but we had them on the show. They seemed like they were ready, prepped, and ready.
Yeah.
Maybe this just is the South version of NFC One Midlands. Maybe it's a bit of a cursed league because all the teams in there do seem pretty decent. You might agree, you might disagree. It is an interesting one. Liv, I'll carry on there, mate. Sorry, I do apologise.
Yeah, I don't know. I would expect more from Apache. Like, yes, it's a win, but in previous results, I do. And it might be wrong for me thinking, obviously, when you've got the kind of opposite on the other division on the other side of the country. Yeah. But I mean, all of them have kind of good uni connections, especially like around Bournemouth as well. They have a good uni team. Their uni team went and won the Bucks final. So it's kind of surprising that, you know, maybe it hasn't filtered in the same way as what other programs have. But yeah, I do hope for like Bobcats, you know, they do maybe get a win under the belt, or they do, you know, improve a lot this season. So
Okay.
yeah.
Well, let's get on to the last game of Div 1. We are massively overrun. We do apologise, folks. We're about to try and be as quick as we can. South Wales Warriors 20, Solent Thrashers 41. Before anyone speaks, total yards 458, passing 161, rushing 297, passing touchdowns 3, rushing touchdowns 3. Wow. Quan, you're up.
Yeah, so I told you I don't know much about Southwest Wales, but for Solent, I know they have a hell of a QB down there who can scramble his behind off. And to see him throw for three, you said as well?
Yeah, 3 free touchdowns.
Yeah, 3 for 3, yeah.
Is
I
that a
guarantee he was
solid?
involved in a lot of them rushing yards as well, though.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. But no, it's really great to see. I know that Coach Gibbs is cooking up a really good offense down there, so that's why these stats are coming out every single week. You know that are eye popping, eye catching stats. What does and what I've been watching and what does concern me with them as a team, looking objectively and not as an EKM player, is the points allowed, the points conceded. And I've heard a little bit that they are a bit worried about that on the defensive side of the ball. So I'm interested to see as the season develops, do they tighten that up, or is that something that I guess we or other teams in the playoffs will be able to exploit because it'll be a shootout.
I can't wait for you two to play each other if you do, because
Oh,
you do realize they're going to clip this. They're going to clip this. They're going to
Oh
put
yeah,
it on their wall. Right.
yeah.
Lee, what did you think in this one, mate?
Oh, do you know what? This was the game we were looking forward to, wasn't it? You know, the Thrashers heading over to Wales. You know, the Welsh. Obviously, we've been bumping them up with all their wins that they've been tallying up, and this was the game to watch. And we now know who the dominant force in this league is. The Solent Thrashers are going to be the winners of this league, unless something absolutely crazy happens. But we've got a comment here. Solent O-line is top, said from a very bruised South Wales D lineman this evening. Wow. Okay. Well, that kind of tells you everything.
Liv?
Yeah, I mean, as we were saying, it's one of the matches that we were kind of looking out for and watching, because it is the two top kind of teams in that division going head to head. Solent, I think sometimes I do forget that, they are a former Prem side. Like 2 seasons ago, they were in the Prem South.
Mhm.
And as sometimes that does kind of slip my mind just because we didn't play them last year. It does happen. But yeah, it's a good score. I will be interested to kind of see that reverse fixture, when Wales travel down to Southampton, is it? Yeah. Solent's in Southampton.
Yeah, South.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to kind of see that flipped fixture and see if maybe if the Warriors travel well. Yeah, it'll be definitely interesting. But Solent there, as I think I maybe said a couple of weeks ago, it would be Solent or South Wales that, would be fighting to come up to the Prem again.
Okay. It's going to be an interesting one. Let's move to the Prem, folks. So, Prem was an interesting one. Going to start off with I think it was the Saturday game. East Kilbride Pirates 13, Coventry Phoenix 16. I don't know if any of you watched this. I watched this. This was a brilliant game. But what makes me laugh, every East Kilbride Pirates game, without a shadow of a doubt, every 90 seconds, a very angry Scottish woman, "Come on, Pirates!" Literally, and I've not seen this girl, but she scares the life out of me. Fair play, Coventry Phoenix. You went over the border and got a result. That is a hard place to go to get a win. Lee, you are up, my friend. Liv, we're going to come to you last on this one.
Yeah, so I mean, again, these sort of long distance games, the score tells it all, really, doesn't it? It was a tightly fought game,
Yeah.
But the dominant team in my eyes would have won this game. So yeah, hats off to the Phoenix. I think they're definitely poising themselves into that second place position. barring any shocks between them matching up against the Titans, I think.
Well, I think that return leg of Phoenix is going to be clinical.
Oh, yeah.
Clinical. This was a really, really good game to watch. It was a great stream too. I always want to compliment teams on the streams. It is going to be interesting, the Prem North. Guam, anyone on this one, mate?
No, I don't have any intel on these two teams.
No worries, Liv. You're up, mate.
Yeah, back to Scottish team, back Pirates, because they are a very strong program. I mean, a very close game. So this kind of reverse fixture, it might be as close again. It might not be, but it will be interesting to kind of see. Yeah, in terms of the Scottish person screaming on the stream, I unfortunately didn't watch it. That's normal. I mean, if you'd heard me on Sunday shouting as well, like I'm really bad for shouting on the sidelines, so that's standard. Standard Scottish woman.
Just sounds like someone I wouldn't want to play against. Like if she was a D lineman, I'd just go, you can go past, love. Just scare. Yeah, very good. Whoever you are, fantastic. Keep doing what you're doing. Because every time you said it, I think they did a good
Was she a spectator or was she a player?
Spectator.
Oh.
Someone in the crowd. But
yeah,
because I've watched pretty much every one of their streams, every stream. Come on, Pirates. Like, yeah. Anyway, Wembley Stallions 6. Cambridgeshire Cats 33, up the Cambridgeshire Cats. I feel sorry for the Stallions because they nearly won that first game, and I think they will take that revenge against Rushmore. But Cambridgeshire Cats last season. Now, look, Lee, Liv, we know you're both involved in this club, and I always play devil's advocate. I'll always give criticism. I'll always, there's not really much criticism to give here because you took Blitz all the way to the fourth quarter. And then you've absolutely smashed it this week. The question is how far can the Cats go? 33-6, great win. Lee, you are up, my friend. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So obviously, I was there streaming this game. So if you want to watch the game back, you can find it on the YouTube channel. Just go to click on the live section, and you should be able to see the game back in full and listening to my mellow sort of voice as a commentator. But yes, the Cats last year, we said this before, that they have got a fantastic set of skilled wide receivers, QBs, running backs, defensive backs. The whole thing was almost a dream team last year. However, the trenches suffered a huge loss with players transferring, leaving, getting injured, and just not recruiting very well. A year later, they've come back this season. They've recruited absolutely brilliantly, and the both lines are looking terrifying. The offensive line were creating gaps for the running back. The running back Teddy Pope was making positive yards on nearly every single play. Every time he got the ball, the defensive line for the Cats were giving the Stallions no running room whatsoever, and stopping the run, shutting it down every single time. And for an offensive team like the Stallions to only walk away with 6 points, and it wasn't even an offensive score, it was a defensive pick six towards the end of the game. It kind of shows that the Cats defense is a strong point, and teams are going to struggle to go up against it, I think.
Okay. Liv, I'm going to come to you last. Quan, anything on these teams?
Yeah. Wembley, obviously, we played them last year, and we've had issues with them, in a few playoff games. What I would say, though, is that, they were quite a one-trick pony when we played them. It was the run or nothing for them. And so it kind of doesn't shock me to see that with you guys shutting down the run, or with Cambridge shutting down the run, that they were struggling on offense. The guy who scored the pick six, Tyrese, a linebacker for Wembley, that was his second pick six in a row. I think he had one against Bristol the week before. And he has scored more touchdowns than all of the Wembley Stallions wide receivers combined, if I'm not mistaken. So it's just something that they'll have to work out with, increasing that connection between the QB and how they're going to be playing together, because competing at the Prem, as we would have discussed earlier, is a big jump.
Yeah, I mean, just to touch on that, yeah, their defense, they tried their best. They were looking strong. The offense, I think, was their main downfall. Their QB, from what we could see on the stream and what I saw there and live, he seems to loft the ball a little bit too much, putting it up in the air and giving defensive backs the opportunity to intercept it. And there were four interceptions in that game, two of which were taken back for a score. The pass was to live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First drive on. It was my first drive on as well. Obviously I'm still coming back from dislocating my finger a few weeks ago, so I was not too sure about getting fielded. And then the OC was like, "Look, we'll put you on for one snap, one play, and then we'll put Jay, who's one of the other players, we'll put him on as running back, give him a couple of reps." And I was like, "Yeah, that's fine." And as soon as I curled out on my route, I seen that no one was on me. And I was like, I'm getting this ball. I'm going to have to catch this ball, and I'm going to have to turn and run up the field. I go to turn and catch it, and it's just the way it's been lofted to me. And it was just, yeah. And I kind of froze in that moment because we're so close to the end zone as well. From the position that I had my body, I was like, I can't turn and tackle him because, one, I'm right behind there. There's a good gap between me and him. And I was like, there's no way in hell I'm getting him.
It was definitely a good read by the linebacker there.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of the game, sorry. I do think it went well. It went well for us, but there was a lot of disciplinary penalties against us as a team. We had a lot of, silly calls, blocks in the back. Luckily, no unsportsmanlikes, which is good. But silly calls, holding, blocks backs, yapping away when you shouldn't be yapping, those kind of ones. That was definitely one of our downfalls in the game. Don't get me wrong, it didn't take away from what we done, but as a unit, both on offense and defense, we are better than that. I don't know what was happening, but we should be better, and we are more of a disciplined team than that, and it kind of slipped away from us, especially kind of as the game progressed on and on. But yeah, other than that, it was solid from us. Our sideline was definitely very reactive, and it was a good laugh for once. It was a nice kind of relaxed environment compared to how maybe it was last year when maybe we weren't winning. It was just chilled, we're all sitting laughing, all having kind of fun while playing, and that's what football's about.
Look, it's interesting. I'm really excited to see you guys play Blitz again and Bristol. It'll be interesting to see. I like Wembley Stallions as well. They seem like a well-run club. All levels of football, youth, junior, and stuff like that. It is an interesting one, but I'm pretty sure Quan hopes to stay up so that they can play them next season and get revenge. Right. So, Rushmore Night 0, London Blitz 48. I've not really got nothing to say in this. I'm not surprised. Looks like there's a bit of turmoil going on in the background at night with coaches leaving. Quan, any comments on this one?
Nothing major. Just interested to see where the head coach does end up at, whether he will be a coach or a player.
Only time will tell. Let's get on to the power ranking. So I need to change this to Mateo's power rankings so people start getting grief. Stop getting grief. Let's just load them up full screen. Just one moment. So first place, the Aztecs. Second place, Titans. Third place, Blitz. Fourth place, Phoenix. Fifth place, the Cats climb up. Sixth place, East Kilbride Pirates. East Kilbride Pirates! Come on, Pirates! Seventh, Nottingham. Eighth, Rushmore Knights. Ninth, Wembley Stallions. 10th, Merseyside Nighthawks. I didn't get too much flack on that, and I usually do get a bit of flack on that, so I'll take that. The hardest one to do, believe it or not, is this one because there's that many leagues and there's so many teams undefeated. East Kent Mavericks #1. Any disagreements there, Juan?
No, sir.
Yeah, I thought so. Black Country Steelers second. They're playing brilliant, as well as the Solomon Thrashers, who are third. London Blitz B, who are fourth. Newcastle Vikings are 5th and Oxford Saints are 6th. Just for context, the top 6 are undefeated. Leicester Panthers are in 7th, Yorkshire Rams back in at 8th, South Wales Warriors at 9th, and the Cheetahs are in at 10th. It's so hard to do that one. Like it's not even like a little bit difficult because there's so many teams and you're like, well, I'm leaving out them. Well, how can you leave out? Like I've not. It's a difficult one. Let's move on to the next div, which was Div 2, which is my favourite. Without Div 2, you wouldn't have any of your leagues because you all like to poach from us, from our really good players. Ipswich Cardinals in first, as mentioned before. The only reason they're there is because they've just not conceded any points. But I think if the Bucks get a big statement win this weekend, there's nothing to stop them going top. Plymouth Vanguard in third, Wakefield Raiders in fourth. Rossendale, they've gone up, just another convincing win. They're signing great players too. Rossendale Bucks in fifth. I can't wait to see Raiders play the Bucks. Somerset Wyverns in sixth. Birmingham Bulls in seventh. Humber Warhawks in eighth. Ouse Valley Eagles, you're back in at ninth. And Lincolnshire Bombers at 10th. They are the power rankings. If you don't like them, right. We've massively overrun, so we're going to be very quick doing this last part. Kwan, thank you so much for giving us your time, mate.
Absolutely.
Just there quickly, mate. If someone wants to transfer to East Kent Mavericks, how can you, get in contact about playing, stuff like that? What's the best way to contact the club?
Yeah, if you're interested in reaching out to us, you can contact myself or you can reach out through our Instagram page. That's the easiest way to do that.
Perfect. You don't need a chunky kicker, do you?
What did you say? A thicker kicker?
Thicker kicker, that's gold star for you, pal. Right, let's get on to the predictions. There's no Prem Bowl this weekend. I know. I'm pretty sure there's a friendly going on, but we don't like to talk about the friendlies for all them reasons. But let's get to it, folks. I'll ask the question. Let me know who you think's going to win. Aberdeen Roughnecks against Newcastle Vikings. I'm going to go for the Vikings. Lee?
Yeah, Vikings on this one.
Kwan?
Vikings.
Liv?
Vikings.
Okay. And then we've got the Glasgow Tigers against the Yorkshire Rams. I'm going to be going for the Rams on this one. Lee?
Yeah, Rams again.
Liv?
Rams.
Yeah.
Kwan?
Rams.
Sorry, I'll try and do it in that same order. I do apologise, folks.
No worries.
Interesting one. Inverclyde Goliaths versus Chester Romans. I am going to be backing the Chester Romans here. Lee?
I'm going for the Goliaths.
Okay. Kwan?
Oh, gosh. I'll do the Romans.
Okay. Liv?
I'm going to go with Inverclyde.
Okay. Of course you would. Next, I'm joking, mate. Next up, we got Norfolk Knights against Staffordshire Surge. I'm going to be going for the Surge on this one. Lee?
I'm going to go for the Knights. I think they've had an impressive win last week and they're going to keep that going.
Okay. Liv?
I'm going to go for the Knights as well.
Okay. Oh, sorry, Kwan, mate. I do apologise. Kwan?
It's all good. I'll go for the Knights as well.
Okay. Then we've got Colchester Gladiators against Kent Exiles. I'm going for the Exiles. Lee?
Yeah, Exiles win this.
Kwan?
Exiles.
Liv?
Exiles.
Okay. Then we've got London Olympians against Essex Tridents. I think I know the answer for this one, but I'm going to go for the Olympians. Lee?
Yeah, I'm going to go for the O's.
Kwan?
Olympians.
And Liv?
The Olympians as well.
Okay. Next game is going to be a beauty of a game. The Oxford Saints are home to the Hertfordshire Cheetahs. I'm going to go last on this one. Lee?
I picked the Saints.
Okay. Liv?
I think I picked the Saints as well.
Okay. Kwan?
Cheetahs.
I'm going to go for the Cheetahs too.
Split it.
Just because the Canadians were on our show. Next up, we got Bristol Apache against Solent Thrashers. I'm going to go for the Thrashers on this one. Lee?
Yeah, no-brainer. Thrashers on this one.
Okay. Kwan?
Thrashers.
Liv?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Thrashers.
Okay. Then we got Hereford Stampede against Bournemouth Bobcats. I'm actually going to go for Bournemouth on this one. Lee?
I've gone for the Stampede.
Okay. Liv?
I've gone for the Bobcats.
Okay. Kwan?
Stampede.
Okay. 2-2. Then we've got the Lancashire Buccaneers at home, the Gateshead Senators. I'm going to be going for the No, I'm not going for Gateshead. I'm going for Lancashire Buccaneers. Lancashire Buccaneers in this one. Liv?
I think I'm going to go for the Bucks as well.
Okay, good on you. We're still friends. Quan?
I'll have to say the Bucks as well.
He just wants to be friends, so that's fine. And Lee?
Yeah, I don't think it's simple Bucks on this one. Let's go for it.
Then we've got, this one's an interesting one. We've got Lincolnshire Bombers against Humber Warhawks. For me, as long as the same Bombers that we played against in that first game turn up to this game, I can't see anything other than a Bombers win. So I'm going to be going for the Bombers on that one. Lee?
Yeah. Give me the Bombers on this one.
Yeah. Quan?
Bombers.
Liv?
Bombers as well, yeah.
Clean sweep. We got an email from someone from Humber last week who wasn't happy with the information we said about what's going on at Humber. We only go off what we get off other people when we get the same message 6 times. That's the reason we do that. Really like Humber. They seem like a really good club, and I do wish them the best of luck this season, just not when they're playing my team. So Rossendale Bucks against Lee Miners. I'm going for the Bucks on this one. It's going to be good to see them back in action. Lee?
Yeah, I'm excited to see what the Bucks do.
Yep. Liv?
I'm going to go with the Bucks as well.
Okay, Quan?
I'll follow the trend. Bucks.
Interesting game. Ouse Valley Eagles against Norwich Devils. I am going to be going for the Eagles on this one. Lee?
Yep, Eagles win.
Quan?
Eagles as well.
Okay, and Liv?
Yeah, Ouse Valley, man.
Okay, and then we've got Somerset Wyverns against Swindon Storm. I'm going for the Wyverns. Lee?
Storm.
Oh, okay. Liv?
Somerset.
Okay, I think that's the first time you two have picked a different team. And Quan?
Wyverns.
Okay.
Just me on the Storm.
Hey, week 6 is going to be interesting. Obviously, there's no Prem game, so it's going to be interesting on that one. GB have Saturday camp training. No, Nathan, it is at the Bucks ground. Well, listen, before you go, Quan, I didn't ask you one question before.
Yeah.
How do you think Washington are going to do this season?
I think we'll probably finish around 11-5. 4 wins.
Oh, they're 4th in the league. That's where you finish.
Oh,
You can give me back, mate. He's an Eagles fan. You can give me back, mate.
Listen, I think we win the opener, if I'm honest with you, and you guys can quote me on that. We can have a laugh later on down when the season starts.
Let's do it.
I think we'll win the opener. I think we'll end up going around 11-5 or so. I think our defense will be a lot better this year. We recruited well in the draft, and so I'm looking forward to a JD5 get back season, because obviously he had an injury that would have curtailed his season last year that was a bit gnarly. But we're expecting big things from him in year 3, so looking forward to it.
It's an interest. Well, I don't know if you're aware, mate, but we do run a Thursday night show called The Audible. It's an NFL show, so it's on when the season kicks off. It's on Spotify. We do it live every Thursday. Again, during NFL season. You're more than welcome to jump back on that. If are the Eagles going to play Washington maybe at one point?
Week one. Week one matchup.
Hey, you want to come on before that week 1? And
Let's do it.
I'm up for it, man. Absolutely.
I think our first game is the Chiefs. Oh, we've got a comment here. Dallas fan here. Oh God, it's our year, like every year. So
every year. Come on, that gets boring.
Boring. Is this someone anyone knows? Devil's Brush Gaming, because
he's a guy on the Mavs. Yeah.
Oh, is he? Yeah. Mate, you are more than welcome to come on the NFL podcast and talk about the Dallas Cowboys. Has anyone seen the girl who winds up a fella, and she'll talk about something in like years? She'll be like, "Oh, bring down an old box TV," and he's like, "Why are you bringing that down?" And well, it's relevant. What do you mean? Well, it was relevant when the Cowboys last won.
I've seen that one. Yeah.
Oh, mate, she rage baits him so much. I love football. Well, folks, thank you so much for joining us. We've had record viewers this stream. It just seems to be going up and up and up and up and up. We do wish everyone the best of luck in recovering from last week and all the teams playing this week. Good luck. Clips of the day, you've sent us a bunch of them through. We'll be filtering through them. There are some more that come through. We appreciate every single clip. Yes, Quan, even both of yours. And no, I will not be putting any of my field goals up as clip of the day. I can guarantee you that. Do not worry about that. Liv, your catch might have nearly gone up. But look, thank you very much. We will see you next week. I have been Matteo.
I have been Lee.
I've been Liv.
And Quan.
And Quan, yes. Thank you very much for coming on the show, buddy. Folks, we will see you next week. Again, we are recruiting for... I've just got 2 people to interview after this for the flag stuff, but we're recruiting people for the under-19s, the under-16 stuff. If you want to come and help us make more content, we'll get that content out. This show is for you. If you have any feedback, please do drop us a message.